YouTube. And starting off today, right? For those of y'all who are here, it is not quite 8 o'clock, but I wanted to get y'all who get into the chats early a chance to see Bacardi with the puppies early this morning. Yep, there's 5 of them. They happy. Mama's doing fine. Yes, sir. We are. It is Wednesday, March the 1st. Top of the morning, Soul Power. How you doing, brother? Yeah, man. Before I go into my live area, Jamila Williams, welcome to the chat. I just want to show y'all these puppies they are alive and well. They're doing just fine. This one right here, he's mine. And then this female right here, she looks like Saki's sister from the first litter. She might not be going nowhere neither. Yeah. But I just want to show y'all, like I be getting here sometimes. Y'all don't really see the dogs, man. It's a dog channel, you know what I mean? Hey, I appreciate that, Jeff, man. Jeff, long-time supporter, man. I really appreciate you, bro. Real talk. Yeah, man, y'all here they are, we got 3 minutes before I actually start the live, so I just want to get in here and let y'all see the dogs or whatever. I actually got a keep going on with Saki right now, so I'll be giving y'all an update on his keep and how that's going as well. Yeah, man, we in here, man. Mama's doing good. Puppies is good. Made a move yesterday with my partner. We went down to Houston, Texas, and we moved some samurai blood up out of the state, man. We moved some out of the state. I'll be talking about all that in today's live. The topic today is going to be the culling process, and I'll talk to you about some philosophies and culling strategies I've seen, and we're gonna get into it. But I'll actually go into my setup area where we actually got it, semi set up for your viewing purposes, and we can talk in our live, and we can really do that bulldog talk. But right now, I just want to show y'all these babies of mine. I'm really proud of them. Got a little bumper guard up in there. JT, what's going on, big dog? Hey, man, look, bro, you gotta give me a call this week so we can chop it up and talk bulldog talk, man. We was having a real good talk last time we chopped it up, man. I really appreciated that. Yes, sir. They fat and happy and sleeping. Got about 2 minutes. I just want to give y'all some time, just admire them and look at them. I'm not gonna handle them too much, y'all. They're a week old today, and their eyes should be opening. Typically, their eyes open between 9 and 11 days. Last time it was day nine on the dot that it opened up. Day number 9 on the dot that it opened up. And yeah, man, just wanted to share some of my joy with y'all. Wednesday mornings can be a real drag. Hey, Soul Power, get my number. If you ain't got my number already, Rose said he gave it to you. Hit me up, bro. I got you. I already got you, man. I literally, it's funny you say that. I just got a shipment in this week, and I'll actually bring some of them into the live and show y'all some of that in the live as well, man. The product, because what I do is I got a guy that I order it from, and he sends me he cuts it up and sends it to me, and I just keep it here salted and ready to go. And the purpose behind doing that is so I always have some available. The post office act like an ass when I try to send it, but they don't like the idea of so I have to market as dog toys. Well, y'all, it's 8 o'clock, so let me get y'all out of my garage and definitely get y'all ready for the live. Those of y'all who are early, though, I wanted to give y'all a treat and just kind of show y'all around. Obviously, these dogs are being kept inside, man. They won't see outside until they're fully vaccinated and fully ready to go with everything. They will be getting some sunlight. I'll open the garage door and let them get some sunlight to avoid rickets. But yeah, y'all, we in my studio. I want to show y'all something else too. So I went and bought all this damn studio equipment, this mic and all this stuff. Got the lights and everything. I went and bought this mic and all this stuff, man. And your boy Samurai ain't figured out how to work that shit out yet, man. So y'all bear with me on this, and we're gonna get into this coffee talk this morning. Okay, we got it in there. Yeah, progress. Hey, progress. we working, man. We working, JT. We working, big dog. Yes, sir. So y'all know me. I like to kind of have a structured show. So we're gonna do this in segments. And oh yeah, for y'all, for those y'all who haven't seen this, is just one of my regular Samurai Kennels t-shirts. They don't come in black no more because if you can see the lettering, it didn't really show up that good. So they won't be coming in black anymore. I removed it from the site. That's not a thing anymore. It's not a thing. You can get them any color that's available on the site, but black. Will not happen. Unless y'all just want it without the lettering, you just want the stuff, man. But oh yeah, and they got the mugs to match. You know, it's that Wednesday morning coffee talk for y'all. Yes, sir. Hey, so y'all know what how I like to start my lives is I like to go over each segment, kind of what it's talking about, and then I give interim summaries throughout the hour-long segment. This is just for like those of y'all who are on the way to work. You're already at work that first hour, and you kind of just getting yourself ingrained into your day, and you're getting it started. You know, you're working on doing the things that make you happy in your life. Go ahead and grab you some coffee, y'all. Get you some water, if you don't drink those things. Get you some juice, whatever it is that you do in the morning. If you need to smoke you one. You know. But this is leisurely talk. We enjoy this, and I enjoy y'all input in the chats. Thank y'all for the likes, by the way, too. If you just getting in here and you ain't hit that like or that subscribe, man, you should go ahead and probably hit that up too. Oh crap! I forgot to put sugar in that coffee, man. Anyways, look. So topics today. I'm going to discuss the culling process and how I cull here at my kennel, right? Because like this is a topic right now that is essential. Being that we talk about picking puppies and all these different things about puppies. One of the processes for a breeder is, do you have a culling process? And if you don't have a culling process, man, we probably not on the same page when it comes to breeding. Every breeder should have a culling process of some sort. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I just went on Google. I want to give y'all a basic definition of culling, and then I'll talk about what I feel is culling. And we're gonna define that for this in this first little window of our segment. So it says here, this is on Google on Quora.com. Most often, culling is done when an offspring is born with a clear physical defect. A double mural pup born without eyes, for example, or a pup with a cleft palate that makes it impossible for them to nurse or later to eat. All right, so that is a very, very rudimentary, a very, very crass way of defining a culling process. And then when you Google culling in more detail, you'll notice things like culling processes can be things such as in a deer herd, you might cull deer that have like defects and things like that, but you also might cull the weaker or the lesser ones, the ones that natural selection would take out in nature, right? So the culling process can be done naturally, but however, in a breeding process, when you're trying to isolate genes, that's not the case. For me, what a cull is a cull is something that doesn't meet my breeding standard or my breeding quality. My standard goes with the ADBA standard quality of an American Pit Bull Terrier. That's the baseline for what I'm gonna breed. At least I want conformationally sound if possible. Now there are some defects or some mild flaws. What's going on, big dog? My bad, I should have texted you this morning, bro. But hey, one love. For a culling process to work, you have to have a standard of your own. So my looks standard is the American Dog Breeders Association, ADBA show standard. It is very basic and you can read it. It's written down. It's black and white. Ain't no question as to how they're supposed to look. As far as my personal standard, there are certain standards that I cull out. Now, one of the questions that you see first on Google is, does culling mean killing? And in most cases, yes. However, that is cull, and if they were the same thing and if they were synonymous, then that would be, they would just call it killing, but it's not the case. Okay, so for me, a dog that I would cull, a cleft palate is not necessarily, or underbite or overbite is not necessarily a culling quality, but it does remove that dog from a breeding program. For me, a dog like that, for a cull, that dog would be spayed or neutered and would not be introduced to a breeding program. That is a cull for me. You could have a dog for me that does not meet my breeding criteria, but meets yours. You might just want the blood. My shit is, excuse me, pardon. My stuff is inbred. The mama's inbred. The son was inbred back to the mama. Like, my stuff is super tight, right? Like, it is as tight as it's gonna get. I'm going to need it out for my next breeding, right? And when you breed that way, like, you're gonna have some defects, and I expect culls. And for those culls that don't make the cut, like, they don't make the cut. Growing up where I grew up, breeders would cull their animals. I seen breeders cull a whole. They keep one puppy and cull the whole rest of the litter. They would take them down to the river, and let's just say they didn't come back from down by the river. This is a true thing that was experienced growing up. I'm not gonna do that, but like, I know the breeders, like, rather than have something that does not meet their standard released to the public or kept on their yard, they just took it up out of here. You know, nowadays that's kind of frowned upon. We live in a society where that's just not the way. But back in 1994, that was the way, man. You know, it was that thing is up out of here. Ain't no chance of it getting bred. And I gotta respect those breeders because they gave us the dogs we have today. But as far as a cull goes, the first step is deciding what your cutoff, like what your baseline is. Put you a line in the sand that you will not go across. And if you go across that line, it needs to be contractually binding, i.e., I do not accept responsibility for what is done to this animal after it's relinquished from my, like, you need to have legal documentation saying, like, this dog does not meet my standard. This dog does not represent my company. This dog does not represent my brand. This dog does not represent the breed standard that it was bred to. First and facts. If you're a man with standards, this is going to be very easy. If you're not a man with standards, this is how you develop them. My channel is all about positivity, and so I wanted to share that. But the topic of culling is not going to be necessarily one that's easy for you. All right? So for this first segment, all I wanted to do was define what a cull is to me and kind of put that out there for y'all. If you got some different culling processes, please share it with the chat or talk about, like, your baselines for culls, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to make this breed better. Because I got a homeboy right now. He doesn't breed the true American Pit Bull Terrier, but he breeds paperless dogs for colors. He doesn't care about their health issues, and these dogs will eventually find their way into the real American Pit Bull Terrier bloodlines. I guarantee it, because these designer breeders will add our blood in there and take it back. And outside of dogs, he's my friend. But when it comes to dogs, he's not my friend. Does that make sense? Like, there's a clear line, a clear distinguishable line that I will never support or condone what he does with these dogs. But I'm not gonna knock him either. That's why I'm not saying a name. But there's people out here like that, and I do appreciate the fact that you can keep that stuff away from me. All right. So so I see we got 10 people in the chat. Go ahead and like buttons. Go ahead and like, and share if you want to share it. So another thing that I'm checking out is we're moving into the next segment. So I want to give an interim summary. Good morning, my friend. Good morning, y'all. Hey, the big dog Apache Kendall's in the building. Hey, so the next thing we're gonna talk about in the culling process is with all litters, online culling. With all the litters online, culling will happen. Okay, let me dial that back. With all the litters coming out this year, there will need to be a culling process. So just because you see somebody with a litter of 12 or a litter of 8 or a litter of 6 doesn't mean they're all available. And doesn't mean they all work at peace. What's going on, Marquand, 1988? Salute. Every puppy don't make the cut. And some of these culls, man, like, that's just what it is. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, there are people who will sell you a dog they know that they would rightfully cull. And those kinds of people, like, you'll never know because, like, it's an intrinsic thing. It's inside of you. But nah, man, like, that's why I like to, like, try to be as transparent as I possibly can with y'all with my process, because there are dogs that I will cull because they won't do the work that I'm trying to do with them, but they're game, you know, and game is first, but I don't just like a dumb game dog. That's why you a lot of times hear me bashing Red Boy and Red Boy Jocko dogs, because they're kind of stupid game. Those types of dogs, I only want a quarter of that gas in my program at max. And everybody who knows me knows that. All I want is a quarter of it in my blood at max, and then I want to, you know, kind of water it down. As far as those percentages go, and I want to build my stuff back up. a question was asked to me yesterday about cropping and organizing and selective breeding. And a partner of mine asked me, he said, why don't you add more bolio to your stuff? And I told him the truth. I said, man, I don't know where the hell, please help me. I don't know if anybody has a pure bolio dog nowadays. And if they had it, I told him, I don't know if I would believe that it was really a pure bolio dog. This conversation we had yesterday driving back from Houston. And he said, good morning, what's going on, Cannon? He said, yeah, man. So as far as bolio goes, bolio would add a lot to my line that I would want is some pure bolio stuff. So if y'all got that, this is my cry for help. I would be looking to find somebody. I'd be hard pressed to find somebody with some pure bolio blood, and not bolio tombstone, but just bolio. Yeah, in that culling process. And I think it kind of like over time, it just got washed into Red Boy Jocko and to other lines or combined with Tombstone completely. But I'm hard pressed to find this. If y'all got that, please, share that. But anyways, so with all the litters going on online right now, I would be really Corvino's gold. Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. Don't stay online, man. Y'all can reach me on my email, but if you know who got it, you know what I'm saying? Hit me on my email, hit me on my phone number, and we can chop it up about that. And let the person know that you put me in contact with them. Always ask that person for permission before you share the information. I always ask my partners before I talk about their stuff online. I always ask their permission before I put their business out there. You know what I'm saying? Tom got pure bolio. So the bolio stuff that I got from Tom comes through Frisco line. Now I will give him this. Tom Garner got some Red Boy stuff that I want. That Red Boy Outlaw stuff he got on Garner's Red Boy. I do want some of that. But even with Tom, I like Tom a lot, man. But other than Spike Frisco blood, I really don't. And his Red Boy stuff, I really don't want to mess with too much of his blood right now, man. But Lever Red. I've heard that before too, but I'm not really familiar. Like, y'all gonna have to put me on game. Thank you, Jess Wall. But yeah. So a lot of my friends are in the chat right now. A lot of my friends hit me up this week. And let's talk about culling. Let's really get into culling. So for those of y'all who are just joining the chat, for our first segment, what we talked about was what is a cull? What does a cull mean to you? Have your own definition of a cull and stick by your definition of what you're gonna cull out. Part two, we talking about all these litters online right now. Everybody got puppies right now. I challenge you to ask your breeder what their culling process is. If they don't have a culling process, then ask them why they don't have a culling process. No breeding program is 100%. There is not one breeding program that is 100%. And anytime you buy a puppy, you're taking a chance. It is like playing the lottery. There is no breeder who can give you a 100% guarantee that when they let a puppy go to you, that it's gonna be fire. They can tell you what the parents was, and I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of box men just go straight to buying adult dogs for that purpose. I don't blame them in the least. But as far as the culling process, ask the breeder, do you have one? You don't have to tell me the intricacies of it, but is there a way that you segregate the puppies that make it from the puppies that don't make it? Canon OG, you said me. Okay. Heck yeah, man. See, like this networking stuff on YouTube, man, is I would never met y'all great people, man. This for real talk. Like y'all be just dropping, y'all got information, and it's sickening to me how many of y'all got information and everybody can't get it. So thank y'all for sharing it in the chat, because people who come back and watch this later can see that information and they can know, so they can be in the know. All right. Now, if them breeders that I was talking about can't at least tell you I cull. They say I don't cull anything. I sell everything that I don't keep. That person is now culled out of my circle. Or if they let everything go, but they tell you like, hey man, this one ain't made the cut. It's just good blood. I can respect that. That's respectable. You didn't leave me with a false pretense of you think this dog is a ringer. You think this dog is an ace, or you think this dog has potential. It's showing you good signs. Now for me, good signs is high prey drive, very, very good nerves, decent structure, eyes are clear. There's no smell. Like if y'all ever smell Frito-Lay's chips, those dogs have glandular issues. These are things that like I'm looking for, just basic, very, very basic things. Does he want to work? Does he want to chase things? Does he have prey drive? When I introduce him to new things like treadmills and stuff, like these are things that like make my cut. Like, you know, ADBA standard plus these courage test things as a puppy, and that's a no cull. Even if they have a mild flaw, like you'll see their wrist bent out to the outside like this, right? That they call it, in the bully game they call it east west, but what it is it's just like the paws aren't straight on. You know, they're not straight on like that. And even in the ADBA standard, you want a dog that's man, don't give me the line by autonomy, man, anatomy of a dog, but you want them straight down, like, you know, almost like a fish, straight on, like a battering ram. And when they're flared out like that, that's something I look for, you know. And if you have a dog with a minor flaw like that, you want to make sure you're breeding it into a dog to correct that flaw if you're going to breed that animal. These are the types of things that you want to be looking for and doing consistently with your culling process. You want to cull out that negative or those things, those traits that are less than desirable. H frame, yes, yeah. Thank you. You don't have the H frame, you know what I'm saying, squared off, right? But not too barrel chested. You know, like we're not. Even though I like a bulkier look, I like that Mayday look on a dog. Like you want it in correct proportions for the American Pit Bull Terrier. Okay, so we're talking about culling off people who don't cull or people who don't have standards, and my talks are about dogs, but they apply to life. Everything about these dogs has helped me. And underbite, overbite, yes sir, yes sir. Now underbite and overbite, depending on what kind of work you're doing, can be usable. There are lines like boxers and things that are naturally like that. And for the bite work I can use a dog with an underbite, but I would have to be bred to a female or bred back to a male that had a perfect scissor bite and that had a dominant, like had very, very good genes throughout the lineage. I would have to know about what I was breeding it to, and if what I was breeding it to had none of that stuff. That way that gene kind of gets, we're culling that gene out. But if a dog can work, a dog can work. It is function over form here, but form does matter at my kennel. Function over form, but form does matter. Like I said, I'll take small flaws. I'll take an underbite dog, underbit dog if it can do the work that I'm trying to do, because like the American Pit Bull Terrier at large does not do bite work. It is not looked for or sought after for bite work, and I do bite work. So like that alone, most dogs won't meet my breeding standards, right? But the ones that do, like I'm willing to take some minor physical defects for that. I was blessed enough to run into like people like Apache Kennels and people like Terrence Hope and different people like that who kind of schooled me on that and kind of gave me the game, and I really appreciate that. All right, so we talked about in the first segment, we talked about literally undershot, but she bite. That's what I'm talking about. Undershot, but she bite. You know what I'm saying? She does the work, because these dogs were bred for gameness first, structure, tenacity, and honestly, like all the qualities we want in these dogs, you should exhibit these yourself. And if you're dealing with an individual who doesn't exhibit these qualities, I don't know if y'all peep this or not, but the dogs typically take on the personality of the owner. I'm not saying if you're a gangster, that makes your dog a gangster. What I am saying is if you're calm and reserved, you'll tend to breed dogs that match your demeanor. If you're a live wire, you're typically going to breed dogs that match your demeanor, because those are the things that naturally apply to how your circadian rhythm, how you work, how you live, how you eat. Like the things that you naturally do, your dog's going to do those. If you're a more laid back person, but you got excited dogs, your yard going to be messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because the dog's going to find work for themselves. So I like to breed dogs that like to do like more like intermittent work, like sports. That's what I like. So we talked about what is a cull, what a definition of a cull is, and things of that nature. Now we got to talk about when you're picking your puppies for a cull, what options do you have available? All right, I don't know too many breeders who will have a litter and put their bitches through a breeding process and not at least keep a puppy off the litter. Not most. Better than most. Everybody wants to see how their offspring are turning out, right? But let's say you have a litter and they might look fine to you, but they are personality-wise or traits-wise, and how they're acting, they don't meet any of your standards. What would you do? What would you as a breeder do? Like none of the puppies make the cut for what you're looking for. What would you do? Who would you tell? Would you tell anybody? Don't answer that in the chat. That's just something I want you to think about. What I will share with you about that question I just asked you is this. For my dogs, because I personally use my dogs for protection work, most of my dogs that I've run through don't necessarily meet my intentions. However, even though the dog might not meet my intentions for protection work, they might be a great hog dog, right? So I would try to say, hey man, like, do you know, or go to somebody and ask them, do you know, salute, what's going on? Good morning. If I can't use this dog, can it be used by somebody else? It's a call from my program, but would it be in addition to somebody else's program? Or if I have a dog that is just animal aggressive and crazy, like, I like my dogs to be game, but that doesn't mean I want them bloodthirsty and crazy. There's a difference. I feel that for me, gameness is when it's needed to be. Like I've seen, and everybody tells these stories about game dogs that'll sleep with a cat but will kill another dog, or like, or can be around other dogs, but if you put it in a pit or you put it in a situation where it's going, like, gameness, it shows itself in different ways. Because at the end of the day, gameness is not animal aggression. Gameness is the will to go on when all hope is lost. That's true gameness. And that's going to be tested in many ways. However you test it is up to you. Just be safe, be legal. Do not violate the Animal Welfare Act of 1976. And no dogs are bred or sold for any illegal purposes. Let me say that again. No dogs are bred or sold for any illegal purposes. Put that out there for the feds to be watching. All right, cool. So you've identified your culls, or you had a whole litter that was a cull, and you got to come up with a way to either home these dogs or take them out of the bloodlines completely. And that would mean, obviously either having them put down or spaying or neutering them. So up until this point, y'all, those of y'all who are joining, we're approaching the 30-minute mark, and the things we've discussed today are very, very simple. We discussed what a cull is and how to identify your culling process. Then we discussed breeders and what kind of questions to ask them about their culling processes, and talking to breeders that cull versus breeders who don't cull. Additionally, things that we covered are talking about what you identify as your culling process, and things that I've identified that are my culling process. For those of y'all who got here earlier or those of y'all who got here late, the first 5 minutes of this live was actually spent in my garage. So those of y'all who didn't catch or got here late, y'all can check it out. I actually have pictures of the puppy in there, or video of the puppy in my live stream for today. All right, cool. Now that we got some of the good brothers in here, and I got some of my partners in here, I called my partner at Apache Kennels this morning to let y'all know, those of y'all who are interested in puppies or know somebody who's interested in puppies from the Samurai Kennel style dogs, the father of Saki, that is right, the dog that produced my yard stud Saki was bred twice. He was bred to a pure Red Boy Jocko bitch, and he was heavily inbred back on his own stock. And those puppies will be available. We're not going to take any deposits on those. We're not going to post what's available until we see them. They're healthy, eyes are open, fingers and toes good, structure good, checking them for cleft palates and things like that, and then we will advertise them, as far as what's available. But that is coming, because the litter with Bacardi that was seen at the beginning of this video, they're pretty much already gone. They were gone before they hit the ground. I would have had to have a litter of 10 or more to have just stuff readily available. So right now, I took no deposits on those at all. No deposits were taken at all, because honestly, it's gonna be first come, first served. And the issue I'm having right now is transporters. So if you're not here in Texas and we can't meet in person, like you're gonna be really hard pressed to find your own transporter. And I'm not looking to go. I'm not trying to get this dog to you. If you want it, you can get the ones that I have available. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to do that. That's not my intention. But yeah, man, I'm excited about that. For these right here, so far, everybody looks like they have all their fingers, toes. Nobody's lost the tail yet. Nobody's really sickly. They're all gaining weight fast. They all came out and fed immediately. I stick with it. Oh, man. As far as coming up March 24th, because I'm not gonna lie, y'all, the culling process I'm not gonna be the dead horse. Y'all got it. If you missed it, come back and check that portion of the live. Now we're gonna just talk about these dogs. Going into what's going on this month. These are the activities going on this month that I would like for y'all to be a part of if you can. March 24th through 26th, Samurai Kennels will be coming out. We'll be bringing out Saki after his keep to show him in the confirmation shows up in Houston, Texas. So I'll be there. We can chop it up. I'll probably bring some hides with me up there. Maybe a couple other pieces of equipment, shirts and stuff from the website, but that's neither here nor there. I'm actually going up there to enjoy myself. My goal is to share with y'all my experiences at the show and kind of hit y'all on that live that following week and kind of just give y'all the insight. Because to be honest with you, man, like people, they share the shows, but they don't really dissect the show and tell you what's going on. Like when I think about going to a show, I think about when I was a kid and I would help set up a party, like help set up like a school, like get together, a dance or whatever. I would be there. I would see the setup. I knew how to set it up. I knew like where the DJ was going to be at. I knew how the food was getting prepared. I knew when the food was getting delivered. I watched the people show up, enjoy themselves. I watched what songs made them move. I watched everything. You know, so I took all of the process in of making this event happen. And then I was there for the cleanup. I was there to sweep up the floors and mop and, you know what I'm saying, and find somebody's phone they left at the party. Like, that's the way I want to be involved in this show. I want to learn the whole process of a show because last year I mentioned to you that I'm going to start my own club from the ADPA. There is a club here in Texas known as the Lone Star State Pitbull Club, but they are far as hell from San Antonio. And so I'm trying to stand up a club here in San Antonio as well as in Tucson, Arizona, where I'm moving to in August. Now, the goal for those clubs is to give y'all more opportunities to get out and get involved. The clubs that I get involved in will obviously do the weight pull and the treadmill races just like everybody else. But with me doing shuts and work, anybody involved in the clubs that I'm specifically affiliated with, I'm going to be introducing other equipment like the sleeve and the tugs and the jute and, you know, just showing you how to use it. You don't have to do the bite work stuff. That's not everybody. I really would prefer people to stay away from doing bite work with pit bulls unless you are trained on how to do bite work or you have a mentor in the bite work game. I do not advocate for doing bite work with bulldogs just for the average person. I don't advocate doing bite work for any breed of dog for an average person. You don't really need it unless you're a person like me who I walk my dogs and run them at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And there's some freaking weirdos in the city. And it's nice to have a dog to bite the shit out of them if they get out of line. That's the truth. You know, most of my work with Saki is done from 4 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock. Then I get my kids up, take them to school, come back, feed and clean up the dogs, and that's my morning. You know, the military in me is I get more done before 9 o'clock in the morning than most people get done all day, right? And so that's the goal, is to be able to share that experience with y'all and kind of like put y'all on game. But yeah, this live ain't gonna run too long, y'all. I just want to share that culling process with you. I got some more videos coming up Sunday. I'm probably gonna flood y'all. I might even release a video on Friday as well. But Sunday for sure, I got some more stuff coming out to kind of just keep y'all abreast of what's going on in the kennel. And as soon as my good friend Apache Kennels has his puppy, we'll be posting those on one of our Sunday feeds as well. This has been your boy Samurai Kennel. I know I'm normally here for an hour, but the topic of culling just didn't take that long. Like, it's very simple. Like, you either keep it or you get rid of it. That's it. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the love and support. Soul Power, get at me. I'm available today for the most part. I ain't got much going on. If y'all need to chop it up, my email is samuraikennels@gmail.com. You can email me. I don't really get my phone number out on the lives. Salute, bro. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Watch it at your leisure. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the guys who follow me, they're truck drivers. They watch it, they download it and watch it. But yeah, for those of y'all who are here, samuraikennels@gmail.com. Message me, shoot me a text or shoot me an email. I'll send you my number via email. I don't like posting on here because there are trolls from like PETA and there's trolls from like the tree huggers. They'll get your phone number and they will literally like spam your phone number. So I make sure like by going through email we can kind of chop it up and kind of get to see what kind of person you are. And then I typically do my phone number through that or whatever. I'm working on a second phone number. This phone right here is my other phone. I'm working on a second phone number with that so I can make that my business number and it'll only be available from 9 to 5. But that'll be more for my business side for like consultations and things. But if you rock with me on YouTube and I met you through my social media, like you're more than welcome to, when I get that second number, I will post it. Yeah, it is crazy. They do that all the time, man. They will spam you. just because like they hate us because they ain't us. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It has been great. Samurai Kennels 100. We over and out.